Trump gives a major boost to Netanyahu's rival by green-lighting Turkey's KAAN fighter jet program, handing Ankara a crucial engine deal. Turkey's KAAN ambitions gain real momentum as Trump approves the sale of F-110 engines, moving the jet a step closer to frontline service. Is Trump quietly eyeing a reset with a key Middle East NATO ally, even as his feud with Bibi Netanyahu deepens over Iran and Lebanon? U.S. now moves to power Turkey's next warplane just as ties with Israel fray, reshaping the regional balance in advanced air power. After Erdogan's dictator jab at Bibi, Trump still backs Turkey's defense push, signaling that strategic interests trump personal tensions. The Trump administration has notified Congress of a proposed $700 million sale of F-110 jet engines to Turkey, marking a major step in powering Ankara's new KAAN fighter program. The package reportedly includes dozens of GE F110 engines intended for Turkey's KAAN fighter jet, enabling prototype testing and the first production batches. U.S. concerns over Turkey's Russian-made S-400 air defense system persist, but the engine deal is still being pushed forward despite this long-standing friction. Reports say around 80 F-110 engines are required to support KAAN flight testing and initial low-rate production before Turkey's own power plant is ready. Ankara plans eventually to replace the US-made F-110 with its indigenous TF-35000 engine, underscoring its goal of strategic autonomy in combat aviation. Under US law, Congress now has 15 days to block the sale through a joint resolution of disapproval if opposition coalesces. Several Democratic lawmakers have already vowed to oppose the engine package, citing security and sanctions concerns over Turkey's S-400 acquisition. The U.S. previously sanctioned Turkey after its 2019 purchase of the Russian S-400 system, arguing the deal compromised NATO air defense interoperability. Washington also removed Ankara from the F-35 program, canceling Turkish participation and aircraft deliveries because of the same S-400 issue. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance has said the administration is reviewing whether Turkey could ever regain eligibility for the F-35 program, leaving that door only partially open. At the same time, Trump has hinted he may take steps that would make Turkey very happy, suggesting further incentives or defense cooperation could follow. The F-1110 notification comes just ahead of a NATO summit scheduled for July 2026 in Ankara, where alliance defense and industrial ties will be in the spotlight. Spain has reportedly held preliminary talks with Turkey over possible KAAN fighter purchase, indicating early export interest in Ankara's next-generation jet. This engine move also lands amid fraying US-Israel ties and a period of sharp rhetoric from Turkey toward Prime Minister Netanyahu, adding a complex political backdrop to the deal. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has sharply criticized Israel amid escalating conflicts across the Middle East. A key U.S. and NATO ally has warned that Israel's actions risk further increasing regional instability. In a televised address, Erdogan raised concerns over developments involving Israel, Cyprus, Syria, and Lebanon as regional tensions continue to grow.
Distinguished members of Parliament, dear companions on this journey, unfortunately, crises and wars continue one after another in our region. From Gaza to Lebanon, wherever we turn our attention, we encounter the cries of the oppressed that tear at our hearts. Since the day it was established, Israel has continuously functioned as a force threatening peace, stability, prosperity, and security in our region. The occupation of Palestine and the genocide against Palestinians continue systematically. Look in Gaza, before the eyes of the entire world, 73,000 innocent people have been killed. This atrocity continues both in terms of the killings themselves and in terms of the inhumane isolation imposed on the population. The genocide continues. Having carried out what he calls the bloodiest genocide in human history, Israel also attacked Iran. Not content with that, it simultaneously began occupying Lebanon. Despite the reactions of regional countries, especially Turkey, Israel refuses to withdraw from Lebanon and continues its military operations there. Since October 2024, the number of people killed in Lebanon has reportedly reached 3,700, while the number wounded has reached 11,400. At the same time, Israel is said to be engaging in covert efforts to destabilize African countries and the Mediterranean region. The Zionist administration has become, in his words, a source of constant unrest and provocation across a wide geographical area. Unfortunately, the world has not shown the necessary reaction to Israel's policies disregarding rules, law, principles, values, and boundaries. Under its current government, Israel has become increasingly emboldened. It has become not only a threat to the region, but a threat to humanity itself. Israel, Syria, Lebanon, and Turkey. The attacks carried out by Netanyahu and his government against Syria and Lebanon have reached a point where they threaten not only those two brotherly countries, but also Turkey. I want everyone to understand this clearly. Syria and Lebanon are independent and sovereign states, but these two states are also part of Turkey's geography of affection and brotherhood. Damascus and Beirut are sister cities of Istanbul. Turkey's security does not begin only at Hatay. Turkey's security begins in Aleppo. It begins in Damascus. Turkey's security begins in Beirut. We will not tolerate any fait accompli in the countries of our brothers and sisters. We will not turn a blind eye to any attack against them. Now some people and those who encourage them come forward and issue threats against Turkey from various places. There is no need for you to say these things. We already know your intentions. We know very well what objectives you are pursuing. We are fully aware of the ultimate goal behind what he calls the Greater Israel vision. God willing, we will never allow it. We now see attempts to ignite a new fire of discord in the Mediterranean, particularly on the island of Cyprus. We are following developments very closely. Certain small actors, whose ambitions greatly exceed their actual capabilities, have boarded what he describes as Israel's boat of provocation. They have undertaken the role of subcontractors for Zionism. They are pursuing unrealistic dreams in the Eastern Mediterranean. Let me state this very clearly. No one should go looking for adventures. No one should attach themselves to the Zionist machinery of massacres. If Turkey's rights and the rights of Turkish Cypriots in the Eastern Mediterranean are challenged, then let it be known that our response will be very clear, and it will be very firm. Dear friends, Israel is taking advantage of the silence of the international community and is preventing our region from achieving comprehensive peace, stability, and security. Bringing Israel back within the boundaries of international law is now not merely the concern of certain countries. It has become a common issue for all humanity. The attacks against Iran and Lebanon have produced negative effects not only on regional countries, but also on a global scale. Therefore, Israel's aggressive posture represents a threat not only to our region, but to humanity as a whole. 85 years ago, silence and inaction in the face of Hitler resulted in the deaths of 80 million people around the world. All humanity paid the price for the madness of a single tyrant. Today, the same mistake is being repeated. The actions of Netanyahu and his cabinet in Gaza are, he argues, being watched with the same silence and lack of reaction that once greeted Hitler. No one should forget that when a fire grows large enough, it does not merely burn the region where it starts. Its sparks spread everywhere. Just as the entire world today pays the price for unresolved problems in the Strait of Hormuz, if Israeli lawlessness is not stopped, then all humanity, along with the region, will suffer the consequences.